Welcome to the Vocabulary Podcast by IMS Gujarat. Featuring today, IMS Vocab, Episode 55, Words 1351 to 1375. Let us begin. Word 1351 is disfigure. Spelling? D-I-S-F-I-G-U-R-E, meaning to impair or injure the beauty, symmetry, or appearance of. Example, illegal hoardings disfigure the old colonial facades of Fort Mumbai more each passing monsoon. Word 1352 is dishabille. Spelling? D-I-S-H-A-B-I-L-L-E, meaning undress or negligent attire. Example, the actor answered the early morning doorbell in a state of dishabille, much to the courier boy's surprise. Word 1353 is dishonest. Spelling? D-I-S-H-O-N-E-S-T, meaning untrustworthy. Example, the dishonest contractor used cheap cement for the flyover, leading to cracks within the first year. Word 1354 is disillusion. Spelling? D-I-S-I-L-L-U-S-I-O-N, meaning to disenchant. Example, the starry-eyed fresher from Jaipur was disillusioned within a month of joining the Mumbai film industry. Word 1355 is disinfect. Spelling? D-I-S-I-N-F-E-C-T, meaning to remove or destroy the poison of infectious or contagious diseases. Example, municipal workers sprayed bleach to disinfect the streets of the old city after the cholera outbreak. Word 1356 is disinfectant. Spelling? D-I-S-I-N-F-E-C-T-A-N-T, meaning a substance used to destroy the germs of infectious diseases. Example, phenol became the most bought disinfectant in every Indian household during the dengue season in Kanpur. Etymology note: disinfect and disinfectant spring from the Latin inficere, meaning to dip or stain, the source of infect. Add dis, meaning reversal, and you get the act of unstaining, of removing the infection. The same root gives us the word infamy, a moral stain. Cleaning a surface and washing a reputation share an ancient lineage. Word 1357 is disinherit. Spelling? D-I-S-I-N-H-E-R-I-T, meaning to deprive of an inheritance. Example, the feudal landlord disinherited his elder son for marrying outside the caste against family wishes. Word 1358 is disinterested. Spelling? D-I-S-I-N-T-E-R-E-S-T-E-D, meaning impartial. Example, the retired judge gave a disinterested opinion on the boundary dispute between the two brothers. Memory aid. Disinterested does not mean bored or uninterested. The Latin interest means it matters. So disinterested means it does not matter to me, hence impartial. A judge is disinterested in the verdict, not bored by it. So next time a friend yawns at your story, they are uninterested, never disinterested. Word 1359 is disjunctive. Spelling? D-I-S-J-U-N-C-T-I-V-E, meaning helping or serving to disconnect or separate. Example, the disjunctive conjunction, or in the Sanskrit verse, allowed two contrasting meanings to coexist without conflict. Word 1360 is dislocate. Spelling? D-I-S-L-O-C-A-T-E, meaning to put out of proper place or order. Example, the Kabaddi raider dislocated his shoulder during the Pro League final and was stretchered off the mat. Word 1361 is dismissal. Spelling? D-I-S-M-I-S-S-A-L, meaning displacement by authority from an office or an employment. Example, the dismissal of the corrupt Tehsildar was hailed across the villages of Meerut as a victory for justice. Word 1362 is dismount. Spelling? D-I-S-M-O-U-N-T, meaning to throw down, push off, or otherwise remove from a horse or the like. Example, the BSF rider dismounted from his camel and knelt to inspect the sand tracks near the Gujarat border. Word 1363 is disobedience. Spelling? Disobedience, meaning neglect or refusal to comply with an authoritative injunction. Example: the school suspended the boy for repeated disobedience during the morning assembly. Word 1364 is disobedient. Spelling Disobedient, meaning neglecting or refusing to obey. Example: the disobedient pup refused to sit when the trainer at the Chennai Kennel Club gave the command. Word family: disobedience and disobedient come from the Latin obediare, meaning to listen to, from which we also get obey and obeisance. The dis prefix flips obedience into its opposite. Within every act of disobedience lies a tiny refusal to listen. Remember the ear and obey, and the word unfolds. Word 1365 is disown. Spelling Disown, meaning to refuse to acknowledge as one's own or as connected with oneself. Example: the wealthy Marwari family disowned their son after he chose theater over the family trading business. Word 1366 is disparage. Spelling Disparage, meaning to regard or speak of slightingly. Example: the critic disparaged the Bengali director's debut film, calling it derivative and dull. Word 1367 is disparity. Spelling Disparity, meaning inequality. Example: the widening disparity between rural and urban schools remains one of India's biggest policy challenges. Word 1368 is dispel. Spelling Dispel, meaning to drive away by or as by scattering in different directions. Example: a strong cup of cutting chai dispelled the last of the morning fog from the night shift computer operator's mind. Word 1369 is dispensation. Spelling Dispensation, meaning that which is bestowed on or appointed to one from a higher power. Example: the elders believed the family's good fortune was a dispensation granted by their kuldevta at the village temple. Word 1370 is displace. Spelling Displace, meaning to put out of the proper or accustomed place. Example: the Narmada Dam project displaced thousands of Adivasi families from their ancestral villages. Word 1371 is dispossess. Spelling Dispossess, meaning to deprive of actual occupancy, especially of real estate. Example: the tribal farmers were dispossessed of their land by agents who forged papers in the Tehsil office. Word 1372 is disputation. Spelling Disputation, meaning verbal controversy. Example: the two rival pandits kept up their disputation on Vedic grammar for 3 full days at the Kumbh Mela. History note: disputation comes from the Latin disputare, meaning to think apart or debate by examining all sides. In medieval Europe, public disputations were scholarly contests where students defended theses. Picture the great debates between Shankara and Mandana Misra as India's own tradition of disputation, fierce, formal, and ultimately about truth. Word 1373 is disqualify. Spelling Disqualify, meaning to debar. Example: the gymnast was disqualified from the national games after failing a routine dope test. Word 1374 is disquiet. Spelling Disquiet, meaning to deprive of peace or tranquility. Example: news of border skirmishes disquieted residents of the villages along the line of control for weeks. Word 1375 is disregard. Spelling Disregard, meaning to take no notice of. Example: the watchman disregarded the late-night visitor's warning knock, a mistake he came to regret deeply. Thank you for listening to the Vocabulary Podcast by IMS Gujarat.